You got questions, we got answers. Here's the Indy question of the week.
I'm Kevin Hawk, and this is what he said. Alright, so, it's the weekly spiel. Asking wrestlers questions, getting wrestlers answers. This week, I had a question.
Asking hella questions.
Yeah,
getting hella answers.
Exactly.
Asking hella questions.
Alright, thought of a decent one this week. I mean, I felt like I wasn't on my A game last week with the location question. I mean, I thought it had potential. Didn't pan out so far.
Yeah.
Well,
strip club.
You can't win them all, Hawk.
I know. But this one,
You should have just asked again and said, okay, besides strip club.
Yeah.
That'll be in part 2 of that question.
That'll be in episode 22.
Yeah.
So this week, I asked, what is your personal favorite career accomplishment in wrestling so far?
I like that.
It's not like what is the greatest thing you ever achieved, but it's like what's your favorite thing out of your achievement.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a combination of like the two sides that we're going for here. It's wrestling related, but it's also getting like a personal answer from the wrestler themselves.
It's not just about wrestling; it's about life stories.
Well, and I like
podcast.
I like the idea that it's their favorite, because favorite opens it up to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Favorite could be best, it could be funniest, it could be worst for some interpretations of worst.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, without further ado, I had my fellow Ginger, Darren Corbin, answered, getting to travel to different countries to wrestle.
I think that's probably a favorite of a lot of wrestlers.
That's a cool thing.
I think it's something that a lot of wrestlers they start to take for granted.
Yeah, because after a while it just happens so often.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's part of the job.
So I think it's cool to acknowledge that how important and cool and special that is.
Yeah. Then we get Dave Christ of the team Ohio is for Killers, saying that his favorite accomplishment is becoming a tag team with Jake, his brother.
Aww.
Family values, bro. We hear you.
Family Matters.
It was a show that I didn't care for very much.
I love Family Matters.
I had Michael Keaton, right?
No.
Which one am I thinking?
I don't know. You're thinking of the one that had Michael J. Fox?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Family Matters with Steve Urkel.
Okay. There was... Family Ties is the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Who knows? Something.
I don't know why I said Michael Keaton.
That was Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
And Batman.
Player knows.
Bat Juice.
Ew. Ozzy Osbourne's favorite drink.
Anyway.
Player Dose of the Super Smash Brothers says winning the DDT4 tag team tournament for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Very cool.
He told me that it was basically a great honor to win the tag team tournament and having 3 of his favorite matches of his career all in one night.
That's a hell of a night right there.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Drew Gulak, a guy who's never at a lack for interesting answers, said taming the swamp monster.
Interesting.
People familiar with some things to do with people such as Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy might know of the swamp monster.
I've seen the swamp monster a couple times in Scar matches.
Yeah. So Drew Gulak tamed the swamp monster. Yep.
That was something I didn't know.
Bryce Remsburg, the Bryce is right, best referee in the biz, in my opinion, says being on the Art of Wrestling podcast with Colt Cabana.
Which I just recently listened to, and it is super funny. If you've ever listened to the Art of Wrestling podcast, which you can get at coltcabana.com, you can also get it on iTunes.
For the low, low price of free.
Yeah. Free every Thursday for you. Get it on iTunes. Subscribe. It's on your iTunes every time you open it. Favorite.
Adds to those algorithms.
Yeah. Leave a comment. Tell some friends. if you've listened to Art of Wrestling at all in the 200-some episodes that he has, it's always funny. Because Colt Cabana is a funny dude. But when you get him and Bryce talking together, the funniness level just escalates, and it is hilarious all the way through. Even when they're talking about it, like, serious, like, Bryce coming up through, he came up through, training with Hollowicked and, all these same people. And, just, talking about him getting into the business, and it's still fucking funny. And apparently Rene Dupree is a douchebag.
That doesn't spread.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's shocked at all by that fact.
But the story's funny, so check out The Art of Wrestling, support Colt Cabana.
And Bryce Remsburg. The last two are the throwbacks, the current Campeones de Parejas and Chikara, which Dasher Hatfield said winning the Campeones de Parejas was his favorite goal so far, and his partner, Mr. Touchdown, Mark Angelisetti, said winning the 10th annual Young Lions Cup tournament.
Very cool. Yeah, cause he really ran with the Young Lions Cup when he won it, and
and if you go back, the match that sold me on Mr. Touchdown was the finals of the Young Lions Cup tournament, him versus ACH.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Go and watch that match. Find it on Smart Mark Video on Demand, or Chikara's store.
Yeah.
Or Smart Mark Video sells Chikara DVDs too. Find it. It's a great match.
Yeah.
It's got lots of flippies.
Oh yeah. I will say I wasn't really sold on Mr. Touchdown at first. Like, I felt like he was just kind of we need someone else to team with the throwbacks.
Yeah.
But he's really coming to his own, and he's definitely one of my favorite Chikara guys.
See, I always liked Mr. Touchdown, but that's because I wasn't introduced to him until after he had won Young Lions Cup.
Oh, okay.
So
you based on the fact that he had already reached an accolade,
right?
Like that's what you knew.
And seeing him as Young Lions Cup champion, like him as that, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so it's a great interpretive question. What was your favorite career accolade so far? Got a lot of decent answers. None of them had to do with strip clubs.
Thank you for no strip club answers.
Yeah.
And if you've got ideas that you want Kevin Hawk to ask, if you've got questions that you want to know from these indie stars, whether it's the Super Smash Brothers, Mr. Touchdown, Dasher Hatfield,
Pinky
Sanchez, the Chris Shinron, anybody, if you have a question, you can get a hold of us at fanstalkwrestling@gmail.com. You can find him on Twitter at @themanofsauce. You can post questions right in the comments. Like, favorite, subscribe.
Probably see them.
Pass it on to your friends. If they've got questions, have them comment. And Kevin Hawk will give your questions, if they're good, to the indie wrestlers.
Yeah.
And we can answer your questions.
We can promise he'll ask them. Can't promise we'll get an answer.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to be able to add on the next time I ask a question. This is a fan-submitted question.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that'd probably get us even extra answers. We could give you more answers than we normally do.
It might also confuse the guy you're asking, because they're like, wait, aren't you already a fan? The hell.
It can help us get noticed. But what other indie news we got this week?
We have week 2 of the King of Trios report.
King of Trios.
I'm excited.
Yes.
I know one thing, but I don't know all of the things.
Yeah, real quick, you want to go back and see the beginning.
Don't even worry about it.
No?
Don't even worry about it. I'm recapping.
Alright.
We have to recap. I'm not a fan of recap segments on Raw or SmackDown, but I'm going to recap this one because it's important. Last week we announced the first 8 teams. The Spirit Squad returning for the first time in years.
7 years, I think?
Something like that.
Exciting.
With Kenny, Mikey, and Johnny. The last winners of King of Trios, the Spectral Envoy, Ultramanus Black, Hollywood and Frightmare.
Also exciting.
Team UK, the Dunn Brothers, and Mark Andrews.
I'm gonna stop saying it's exciting because I'll say that after.
It's all exciting. It's King of Trios, man.
Yeah. The Colony, former winners plus Worker Ant instead of Soldier Ant.
Those be doing firing.
The Devastation Corporation, the biggest team on the block.
Yeah.
3-pack Archibald Peck with Scott Taylor and Shane Matthews. Scott
Booyah!
Taylor. Scott Parker and Shane Matthews. I said Scott Taylor. That's Scotty Giamatti for people who don't know.
Banging it. Bang. Oh, God.
They should get too cool in King of Trios.
I've been hoping for that for years, though. The Gekido, 17, Shard and Jigsaw.
Oh, yeah.
And the last team that was announced last week was the Golden Trio. The Throwbacks, the tag team champions of Chikara, and Icarus, the Chikara Grand Champion.
Yes.
Seems like that might be an odds-on favorite team to take the whole shtick.
Yeah, having the champions in a trio, I think that definitely gives them the edge.
Yeah. Mr. Touchdown went on record saying that Matt Classic did not feel like a good partner for this year. So they went with Icarus instead.
I think they upgraded.
A little bit.
Don't get me wrong, I like Matt Classic, but I definitely think
Well,
Icarus
the
is
man's a classic on the mat, so.
For sure.
This week, we've had the announcement of the final 8 teams. The second half of the bracket has been filled.
Oh, yeah.
We start with BDK Cubed, which is Dr. Cube leading the team of Ares and Knockin' of the BDK.
Which they were actually announced while we were shooting last week's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually on the episode. Just go watch it.
A little snippet of
I
their
watched
picture
it
happens.
because I do watch the show despite something I said earlier to someone.
Night Eye for the Pirate Guy and Princess Kimberly.
I think this is the only female that's in King of Trios.
No,
No?
she's not.
Really?
It's like next team they announced as a female in it.
Oh!
See,
Yeah.
I read,
See,
told you
and-
that I read you were wrong, and I was right that I read that you were wrong.
This is great because it's one of the things I touched on last time, as I was talking about how they were using Night Eye for the Pirate Guy fairly frequently during Wrestling is Fun shows.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see them brought back with another older Chikara person. Per se, Princess Kimberly is not a Chikara alumni, but
But she fits with the team really well.
yeah, she's their manager, so why not? They were followed up by Team Extravaganza, which is
Oh, that's right.
which is the tag team Old Fashioned, Jervis Cottonbelly and Marion Fontaine, teaming with the female wrestler Thunder Kitty.
Yes.
Which
Which I don't know much about them.
me either, to be honest.
Be interested to see what she can do.
She
Next
bring
up-
the thunder.
And my kid.
The next team announced after that was Sin Bodhi in the Auditorium.
Which we kind of figured that they were kind of a shoe-in.
Yeah, Kazarni, Sir Oliver Grimsley, and Kefka the Quiet. Followed up by the Block Party, the Proletariat Boar of Moldova, Mr. Azerbaijan, and Sabar Farakish, aka ex-Pakistan. Then they announced that the Flood would be represented in its own right
Oh man.
by
That's scary.
Volgar, Jimmy Jacobs, and Eddie Kingston.
That's scary.
By the way, did either of you see the Batman version
Yes.
of that trio?
What
Because
is it?
what's the Black Mask guy's name?
Volgar.
Vulgar. They said that his mask looks a lot like Black Mask from Batman.
Yeah.
And so since Jimmy Jacobs has the weird hairstyle, they turned him into Two-Face, and they turned Eddie Kingston into the Joker. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's Eddie Kingston's first King of Trios entry since 2008.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
So yeah, it's been a while since Eddie Kingston has seen action inside the tournament of King of Trios. And I think he was teaming with the Roughnecks that year. Him, Rosie Redwood.
Yep. I remember that.
Then we got the second to last team announced. The Colony Extreme Force is another team we've been saying since we first announced King of Trios' arrival this year.
Yeah, they're really one of the only mainstay trios that are still around with the whole killing of characters with to stay on the end.
Yeah. And I was kind of thrown off to find out that we weren't going to have the whole, I can't even remember what they call themselves now, but the group of the students who are all coming up onto the roster.
Oh
now.
yeah.
They call themselves the something militia. I can't remember what it is. But I was kind of surprised that we didn't get to see like them. I was thinking we would have like Creator Wrestler, Kid Cyclone, and Equinox 3 as a team. But I'm gonna be honest, I was definitely okay with their pick for Team 16 and King of Trios. The team of Hernandez, Homicide, and former WWE Cruiserweight and other tag team champion Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Oh yeah,
LAX is coming to King of Trios.
This is when you texted me and you said LAX is number Team 16. I was like immediately my mind went to Shelly Martinez. So I was like, okay, they've already got girls in it, so okay, that'll be interesting. But I was like, okay, I gotta check out and find out for sure. When I saw Chavo was their third member, the fact that him and Hernandez teamed up in TNA, I was like, that is an awesome pick, and I'm really excited to see that trio work together.
Yeah, I'm really glad we didn't get stuck with Homicide, Hernandez, and then one of the other like two makeshift guys that they kept pulling in and out of.
Yeah.
Anarchia and
something that
start with S, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. They didn't mean shit.
No, they weren't very good. They weren't fun to watch. Chavo Guerrero, awesome choice.
Oh yeah.
And one of those guys who I honestly never thought I'd see in a Chikara ring.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see him.
But I feel like he'll be a great fit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they're going to be doing for the next 2 weeks of hyping the shows up.
Well, I want to add a little note because you were talking about how the new kids coming into Chikara didn't get put into a trio, and we made mention of the Desalian situation where he keeps killing people. Kid Cyclone actually challenged Desalian to a match at King of Trios since he's not going to be in the tournament.
Yeah, so that he did it via his Twitter feed?
Yes. Yeah. So maybe we'll get like a extra, maybe a 3-on-1 handicap match or like Desalian versus.
Yeah, I mean
3 guys or something. I don't know.
I mean, I have a feeling that'd be the only way Kid Cyclone will survive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
really hope they don't kill off the new kid.
I don't know. They did that with Tianlong for the Yakido gimmick, where 17 injured him out of wrestling during his debut match.
This is true.
So I mean, yeah, it'd be cool to see him. I mean, it'd be both of their like debut matches on the Chikara show.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Salient actually hasn't actually had a match. He's just been destroying people.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how that goes, or what comes of that, if anything comes of that. I mean, it seems like the Flood and their hierarchy plays by its own system of rules anyway. So, he seems to come and go as he pleases.
Yeah.
Only to chokeslam people onto his knee.
Yeah. Destroy.
Yeah, so we have 16 teams. My guess is within the next 2 weeks we're going to be seeing how they're going to be paired off during round 1.
Which we'll be keeping you updated.
Yeah. Week. I'm going to be making announcements up through King of Trios weekend. I think by the time we record, I think in 2 weeks from now episode, they'll be finishing up night 2.
Oh, yeah. Episode 14, so we should be about halfway through the
tournament. I'll definitely be giving you guys the results on night 1. And if they're done, night 2, I'll be keeping updated.
And then the following week, on episode 15, we will tell you who won the 2014 King of Trios tournament.
That's going to be fun stuff to keep track of, too.
Oh, yeah.
And if Smart Mark is anything like they did when King of Trios 2011 came out, they had the DVDs for all 3 nights available to buy the next weekend.
Sweet. Yeah, so that'll actually be the weekend of Night of Champions. So
buy your King of Trios DVDs while you're watching Night of Champions on the WWE Network, which you can get for the low price of $9.99
a month. Yeah, so lots of interesting stuff happening over in Chikara.
Yeah, I felt really good with the fact that they opened up with the Spirit Squad and they closed out with LAX.
Yeah. Well, and you were saying, a lot of people were worried that they weren't going to bring in a lot of outside talent.
Yeah, I mean...
Which they still didn't.
Yeah, right. There's definitely a lot of people who were kind of going, this year's King of Trios is going to be really stale.
But for me, I think it's makes it a lot more interesting if you've got more teams that are Chikara related.
Yeah.
That you've got more teams that are viable to win
Right.
the tournament. Because if you know, LAX, I don't think you're going to take it. Spirit Squad, I don't think you're going to take it. But you've got all these other teams that are mainstay Chikara guys. I mean, they've only had an outside team win once, and that was Team Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah. A big thing about it, though, is I think a lot of people are complaining with the idea of just repetitiveness in matches, is that we've seen a lot of these combinations already go against each other. We've seen the Colony Extreme Force feud both the Colony and the Spectral Envoy. You know, we've seen the Devastation Corporation face off against the Spectral Envoy and the Throwbacks and the Colony. You know, so it's like, if they can do this without getting a lot of repetitive matches, I think the fans will be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm super excited.
And I'm really hoping they bring back the Rey de Voladores
Yes.
going on. I mean, they did change it to, they did it during National Pro Wrestling.
Well, they did.
Okay. The finals match, awesome. Look it up. 2 Cold Scorpio versus ACH.
So freaking good. So good.
So, I mean, if they bring back the Rey de Voladores or not, the tag team gauntlet that they've always done on night 3, that's always fun. I'm rooting for Demolition to come back again. Who knows? Anything can happen in Chikara. Let's make anything happen. Let's
Oh yeah.
subscribe to our video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it. Like our video. Comment on our video.
Yeah.
This video that you're watching while I'm saying it.
Comment.
Comment what I'm saying
Yeah.
right now.
Comment his words. Keep up with him.
Snargablarg.
Do it.
Fiddlisk.
Well.
Click the annotations, which in no particular order will be the Raw review, this segment you've already watched, Midweek Wrap-Up, Fantasy Warfare, and the SmackDown Rundown.
But if you want to go to our next segment, we will be doing the midweek wrap up. And
Click on it. Thanks.